Yes, it is a cold one out here today. So I mean it's sunny right now, and around this hour or around the time the Browns game should be playing, I would say hopefully the sun is shining. But then you also know that like over in that stadium, it got that one shade area where it's like where the sun ain't beating. Man, your ass is freezing on that motherfucking cold lakefront wind. Oh my gosh. All right, so we going into what is this now? Week 8. So this is the last game of the 4 game um second quarter of the season. Um so who are we playing? We're playing the Oakland Raiders. And first and foremost, I give them my respect. First, giving my respect to John Gruden, an Ohio-born person. Obviously, Ohio makes greatness, and so he comes from a really, really good football state, which is the reason why he won a Super Bowl because, like I said, he came from Ohio. Ohio just one of those great football states. Obviously, the mecca of football, but you know, but also, you give your respect to also, in my opinion, I give a lot of respect to Derek Carr. Another one from one of the great football states. I think I've talked about this before. There's about 9 great states that make football players for real. Ohio being number one, obviously. Texas, California, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, what I said, Virginia, West Virginia, I guess. And I guess you can. I said Cali already. It's really just those ones. I said 9. It's really only about 7. I mean, you get some peppered in from other states and stuff like that, but who make the best football players is usually coming from that state. Obviously, like I said, there's times where you get some people, but those is big time. Oh yeah, Louisiana. I know they always play big time games. And who else? So that was 8. I'm just throwing one out there now. I don't want to say it, but I guess you could say it. Michigan. All right. Anyway, going through it. So, like I said, Derek Carr comes from California, a brilliant football mind. I think one time at one point of his career he was in the MVP considerations. Like they was talking about him being an MVP, and I think he got hurt, hurt his knee, and then they went through a bunch of changes, and then people was talking smack, and then it's like he haven't fully obtained that respect yet. I think he's not gonna get there until you know until he get to the playoffs again, until they show what he could do. And actually, like thinking of Derek Carr, it was when I looked at Baker and looking at Baker coming out, I was hoping that Baker would be just that. I mean, don't get me. I like Baker's mentality, his makeup, his stick his middle finger up to everybody, because that's what we need at the Browns. It's just like we'll talk about that in a minute, but just speaking back, Derek Carr, he's definitely one that you gotta respect. You tip your hat off to him. He knows a lot of football, and I just don't understand why he get the flack that he do. But I think we definitely gotta respect. The team gotta respect his ability and respect that he got a coach that know what he's doing, and that they are starting to mesh. They starting to get on the same page, and you got to be careful of that because this is a really good team that we're gonna play. I could definitely see us losing this game, but I don't want to say that we're gonna lose this game. I'll talk about more so about how I think we can win this game. But let's talk about certain things real fast. Get this out the way since I didn't really talk about it in my last video. on the episode of Brownie Cookies and Water, and but yeah, Odell Beckham, because that's what everybody is talking about. And I mean, I think I'll just talk about this the one time and then leave it alone. Somebody asked me on one of my on one of my posts if Baker, was it pressure on Baker to get OBJ the ball, and I would feel like, I mean, I don't think it was any pressure within the locker room. I don't think it was Odell or anything like that. I couldn't see anything, from my opinion, as far as like, interviews and all that stuff. I'm not in the locker room, obviously, but just as far as like body language, to me, I think it was more so media making pressure, putting pressure on Baker to get him the ball, and they're looking at it, and then it's like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, oh, he's the best player on your team. He makes the most money. You need to be trying to feed him the ball. You need to be trying to target him the most, and then it not working out was just a matter of just timing and chemistry. I think, like, I don't want to sound mean or disrespectful, but I just think that, like, Baker's success is tied upon just having taller receivers that at least 6'1" or maybe 6 feet and up. I know that Jarvis isn't that, but the thing with Jarvis is just his shiftiness and the way that he just moves, and he's just a real football player that, like, he's so physical that some people just don't really want to touch him, and he gets open too. And he's like a Fitzgerald. He's like the Fitzgerald of the NFL. Today, modern day NFL is like he's catching everything. So I'm not putting Jarvis into that front, but if you look at everybody else, it's like when you have a smaller quarterback per se, it's just the way that you play pitch and catch with people. You're gonna be playing with, two people that are taller, and it's gonna. I mean, the chemistry was gonna get there. I feel like eventually between Baker and Odell. I think that the chemistry was getting there, and it was just a matter of time before they just knew each other, where that didn't matter anymore. But in the initial stages, like, yeah, I think it would have just been harder to get it to Odell because he was smaller and because Baker was a smaller quarterback himself. Having to just find those angles or finding those basket spots where it just you and your man only is catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? It's just, or pitch and catch. You know what I mean? So I think that was it. And then, I mean, as far as like our team being better overall without him, I don't want to say that for sure. I don't want to say that that our team will be better without him or our team will be worse without him. I think that most people struggle to realize is that what this team is this year, at least when they claim that we have no identity. When I hear people like Brandon Marshall, who, by the way, and a bunch of other people, why do they call the Cincinnati Bengals the Bengals? Like, it's not the Bengals, it's the Bengals. Like, what the fuck is the Bengal? Like, that sound like the dog, like a beagle or something like that. It's the Bengals. Like, they need to get that shit together. But anyway, and I know that's not my team, but it's Ohio, and it just sound weird. It's just like, motherfucker, it's the Bengals. Like, and if I'm wrong, I mean, then tell me. But I'm pretty sure, like, I've lived in Ohio my whole life, and they always call it the Bengals. I never heard anybody say the Bengals. Like, that shit was weird. Anyway, our identity is a team. Our identity is somebody that's gonna get it done as a team. It's not gonna be just the offense. It's not gonna be just the defense. It's not gonna be just the special teams. Even though special teams, being Cody Parkey, I didn't give him enough shout out on my last video. He's another reason why we win in most of these games. He's making his kicks. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he need to do when he's asked. And that's all you can hope for in the end, because we got to be able to put up points at the end of the day. Every time that we get the ball, we at least, even though 6 is better than 3, you always got to put up points, even if you can't, just as much as you can. Chip away if you got to. You know what I'm saying? So big ups to him. Like, our special teams is coming up as far as that. Yeah, we a team. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always, like, Odell was a part of the team, and he created a different look and created a different way that we could beat you, but we still got enough weapons, I feel, to still have not as much as a pick of your poison type thing, but we still gonna will it together as a team, whether it be through the run or whether it be through the pass. Like I said, I feel like most of the receivers that we got now that's gonna be playing, I mean, besides Juice, you know what I'm saying? There's Michigan, you know what I'm saying? He's over 6 feet tall. And then, Hig is over 6 feet tall. No, he's not the burner, but you could use Michigan. I think everybody talking about Michigan like he got the burner. So if he's going to be the one that opens it up, you know what I'm saying, let him, pop the top off. I don't know if Kadero Hodges is coming back because I know that he got the burners too, but I mean, you can't rely on that right now. All we can really rely on is people to get open and to catch the ball when it's thrown their way. You know what I mean? And hopefully it's in the radius where only they can catch it and it's catchable ball. So, I mean, this is going to be what type of game this is going to be. How do we win this? I think we got to win this as what I just said, as what we are. You know what I'm saying? We are a team. Now back to Baker with being like Derek Carr. That's what I was hoping that Baker would be, is somebody that's going to be accurate in the passing game. Granted, like I said, this is him starting over with a new coach. This is him learning another playbook within another year. Just in 3 years of his career, that's every single year that he's got a new playbook, and we got to give him some time. So, like, if his accuracy is suffering just because he's thinking too much and he's not letting it flow, then, like, that might just be what it is. But, we're going to get through that. There's going to be times that there's any game that we can lose. I guess it's this one. But in reality, I don't want to see us losing any more games. You know what I mean? But if we have to, then that's what it is. We losing these games. And, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, like, yeah, I mean, Baker got to be accurate, but what we got to do to beat this team is we got to, they safety help. They get beat deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be from outside and from the run game or inside screens and stuff like that, but definitely attack the outside. Definitely attack the top, in the back end. As far as defensively, I think we need to stay with those 4-man rushes. Maybe disguise a little bit, but I think what it's really going to be, we need a really good game from our defensive line to just be able to get there and create pressure with just a 4-man rush, because they're not going to beat us on any run shit. Like, even though they think they got a run game, I don't think they're going to beat us on a run shit, but they're going to definitely try to beat us with pass. And if we got more people in coverage and we get the 4-man rush taking care of business, you know what I'm saying, while we got boys dropping back, third downs, maybe have a spy, because don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted, Derek Carr will gas your ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, he I've seen him take off, and he's not slow. He's not like, oh, he can't get that first down. He ain't never going to, like, we going to blow his ass up. Like, you give him the run, the go, he can move. So just keep a spy on the third downs and stuff like that. Other than that, rushing 4 men usually, like, because they gonna blow it up. And I get it, it's just they offensive line is so good, in my opinion. I think it's just big boys, but we got big boys too, and it's time for our big boys to win their one-on-ones, and some of them going to get double teamed. Like I said, if you only rushing 4, you're going to get double teamed. People going to get chipped. Just everybody just be on the defensive line, just be ready to take care of 2 hands, you know what I'm saying, while everybody else be there to make the plays, be there to it's bend, don't break. Definitely keep everything on the inside, in the middle, but don't allow them to, like, try to top us off either. Because Derek Carr will gas you and shit, and he's going to gas you for some little shit too, some little clunkers, and then until it open off for a big one. So I think that's the way that we can win it, you know what I'm saying, defensively. Like I said, defensive line, this is a big game for them. This is a big game for the trenches. And then, like I said, if you send some blitzes every once in a while, I wouldn't blitz this often, but, it's Joe Woods, and, I mean, he's been doing a great job. They've been creating turnovers, but I just say with this, like, allow him to create turnovers by throwing it into double, triple coverage sometimes, because we got so many dropping back, and we only got 4 that's getting home. So, I mean, that's my opinion of how we can win that game. We might win that game with a different method, and I'll be just as happy. We will win that game with a different method. If we can win that game with a different method, and I'll be happy. So, yeah, man, anything else that I'm missing? Denzel Ward, yes. I didn't give him enough respect for the Cincinnati game when he hit that ball out of AJ Green's hands. Obviously Ohio, like I said, we do it the best, and yeah, so that's pretty much how it goes though. But no, it was a lot of different plays that I feel like I missed out on, but I definitely needed to give Denzel his credit and his credit due, and I feel like I don't talk about him enough because he does a lot of good things for this team, and it seems like I don't know other people, but it just seems like he doesn't get talked about enough, and you got to give him that. So, the real uncensored Browns fan, we gonna beat these Raiders, Raiders versus the Browns. Let's go, man.